1980s Gamer here, and I have a new product to review today. This is the Atari Gamestation Go, made by MyArcade. It has over 200 games built into it, and it has a portable screen. So let's open up the box and take a look. And just taking a look at the box before I open it, you see on the bottom left it says it has the 200 plus games, including all of these games and all these different categories. It even includes Pac-Man. And if that doesn't sell you on it, this lever lifts up to reveal all the different games it has. So it includes the Atari Recharge games, which is like the original ones with updated, better graphics. Balls of Steel, which is all pinball games. And then, like I mentioned earlier, it has the two different Pac-Man games. And then there's actually a full list of all the games that'll come on this system. And it's quite an extensive list, as you can see. And it is officially licensed, which means you're actually purchasing all the different games that come on this device. You're not purchasing some device that comes with thousands and thousands of games that's illegal. On the back, there's some pictures of the gameplay, and you see it actually does come with a stand, similar to the Switch and Switch 2. And you see that it has HDMI, so you can hook it up to your large TV and play it that way. Let's go ahead and take the top off of the package so we can see what is inside. And I'm very impressed with the way that they package this thing. It comes very well protected. I like how the screen gives you a glimpse of the console underneath, and the whole thing just kind of falls out. And you see here's all the other stuff that it comes with. So just going over that real quick, we have the charging cable, that's USB-C. Then we have the plug, and we also have an HDMI cord. And it does also include this little red box with some goodies in it. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. So there's some instruction booklets, a certificate of authenticity, and then a MyArcade brochure. And the brochure shows all the other MyArcade games that they have to offer. So the first thing you'll notice when you pull the console out is this really cool design that it has. And I also noticed the three different controls that it has. It has this knob, it has a D-pad, and then it has this rollerball thing. It also has the 4 action buttons and a keyboard on the front, as well as 4 buttons up top. We've got the start select buttons and the credits and settings buttons. Now on the top we have the 4 different L and R buttons. We have on-off switch, we have a home button, we have a micro SD slot, USB-C for charging, an HDMI cable slot, headphones jack, and then the volume minus and the volume plus. When you turn the device around to the back, you see that there's actually 2 different controller ports so that you can play these games with external controllers. And as I mentioned earlier, it has a stand. It's a pretty sturdy stand. You'll see that's how it looks when you set it up. The weight of it feels good, and it feels good in your hands. I like how it has these 2 different grips. And it feels actually a little bit lighter than the Switch 2, for example. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the system, and to turn that on, you just go ahead and flip this little switch right here. And you'll see the loading screen, and it does take about 30 seconds for the system to boot up. Then you get this really cool intro display. And now we have our menu, and you can see you could scroll through the different consoles. And I do want to share that there was one console that I was not able to play. I think it was Atari 7800. But I did a firmware update, which was really easy when you go into the settings, and that took care of it. So the way that the menu works is you can scroll through different categories and consoles, then you hit A to select one, and then you can see you have the different categories on the left as well. So if you just want to do Jalico arcade games, for example, they'll all be in here. And Atari is probably where you'll spend most of your time. You see all the different categories as 2600, 5200, 7800, Atari Arcade, and some other cool stuff. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention is that the controllers light up depending on which ones you're going to use. So there's different buttons will light up depending on which ones are needed in the game. And then let's say you're playing a game that needs the D-pad, this will light up. But if you need one that needs the knob, then this one will light up. And I really like games like this because they're kind of unique. You don't really see a lot of arcade games or video games that use knobs like this these days. So it's fun to play this. I can imagine you could play this with a D-pad, but it's a lot better when you play it with the actual knob because you can control the speed of the paddle a lot better. And when you scroll through the games, you'll see it includes a lot of the classics. Berserk, Bowling, Centipede, Combat. We got Frog Pond. That looks kind of cool. Haunted House is a classic. Maze Craze. I wasn't a big Atari guy, but I do recognize a bunch of these games. This one is called Atari Circus, and you see you only use one button for this one. So that's the only one that's lit up. And it's actually pretty easy to play. Oh, wait, is this one? This one uses the paddle too. So you go like this. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's still fun. And finally, I found one that actually takes the D-pad. And this is the one that I was talking about. It looks kind of fun. It's called Frog Pond, I think, or something like that. And you basically just try to go ahead and eat these bugs with the frog's tongue that pops out of the top. Oh, and then when you're done playing a game, you just hit this home button on the top, and it'll take you back to that main menu. I've actually had some time to review this game because I've had it for like a month now, and I'm just now making a video about it, but this is one of my favorite games called Missile Command, and this one uses, you'll see on my left finger here, I'm using the trackball. It's one of the only games that I've played so far on this device that uses the trackball. And yeah, it's just a really fun game. I have to try to shoot these missiles at these missiles that are coming down. And again, I love how it has these original controls that were on the Atari to make it really accurate to the gameplay that we experienced back in the day, and not just have to use a D-pad or something. So this is Balls of Steel. These are all the different pinball games that it comes with. So you see there's a bunch of them. There's like Missile Command, Barbarian, Centipede. Most of them are Atari themed, and the graphics look pretty good. You control the flippers with the L and R buttons. It's nice to see that this thing can handle some more advanced graphics, something that's a little bit more modern, like from the 2000s, 2010s maybe even, versus just the old school Atari games. We had the Pac-Man games, and you could play classic Pac-Man, sped up Pac-Man, and I don't recommend it, but you can play Atari 2600 Pac-Man. It's not a horrible game, but classic mode Pac-Man is just much better. And with the D-pad, it's very accurate to play this game. This is actually one that I played the most, even though it's just Pac-Man. It's so much fun. You can never play too much of this game. I love Pac-Man. Then we have the Jalico games, and the only reason I remember Jalico is because they made these games right here. Bases loaded for the NES. I used to love these games. But there's also some 16-bit and arcade games as well. And you can tell this game is very 80s. Looks like I'm in San Francisco. But yeah, it's a pretty fun racer game. The graphics are actually pretty nice. Then we have this category called Pico, and I'm not very familiar with these games. Actually, I do remember 8 Eyes on the NES, but I haven't heard of too many other ones of these. But hey, it's cool that they included them. I mean, it's fun to just kind of try them out and see if you like them. You might even find some hidden gems in here. Here's a puzzle game that looks kind of fun. And then Atari Recharge. These are the updated Atari games with the old games that are updated with the modern graphics. So these are actually pretty cool. It looks like you get about 5 or so. But let's go ahead and check out Asteroids. And here it is. And you see it has more of like a modern look. This is actually a pretty cool game because it was all done in vector. Oop, game over. I'm not very good at this game though. And then the settings, you can do some tweaking to the systems. You can update the display, turn the music on or off. You can update the system. You can do other stuff. There's the FAQ and the legal information. And one thing I forgot to mention is it does have the 2 different speakers down here, so you get stereo sound on some of the games. So that's the Atari Gamestation Go, and it's funny because I recently bought about 4 or 5 Atari games, and it cost me like $50. So to be able to buy this, I think it's like $150 or $200, and you get 200 plus games. It's actually a really good deal when you think about it. And the quality of this device is really good. It's not like Nintendo quality or anything, but I haven't had any issues with it, and it seems like it's built to last. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little walkthrough and review, and I'll talk to you guys later.